Hey everybody, Pastor Robin. We are moving into chapter 10 of the book of Romans today, verses 14 and 15. But before we go there, I want to see if you remember a song from way back when. It was an old Otis Redding song, Sitting on the Dock of the Bay. Do you remember that? I won't sing it for you. You'll be thankful for that later. But there's the line, it says, sitting on the dock of the bay, just wasting time. There's not a care in the world, right? And I think of that song and I think about it with this verse and how counter it is to what Paul calls us to do. Because Paul says in chapter 10, he talks about how everyone who calls on the name of the Lord will be saved. But he goes on in verse 14 to say, but how are they to call on one in whom they have not believed? Right? So how can you call on somebody's name that you don't know? And then he goes on to say, and how are they to believe in one of whom they have never heard? So if you don't know the name and you've never heard the name, how can you call on it for help to be saved? And then he says, and how are they to hear without someone proclaiming it to him? And how are they to proclaim it unless they are sent? As it is written, how beautiful are the feet of those who bring the good news. And, you know, our job is not to just kind of sit around wherever we are, just letting time waste. There's a message of good news to be shared, and the time to do that is now. And Paul is saying if people need salvation and they don't know who to get it from or whose name to call upon in order to get it, that's up to us. We're the ones to go out, share that, to preach it, to proclaim it, to tell the name Jesus, so that people can call upon his name in order to have wholeness and peace and salvation in their life. So don't let your life be spent sitting on a dock of a bay just wasting time. There is news to be shared. May we be ones to go out and share that news. God's peace to you. I hope to see you this weekend. Thanks.